Hi, Simon here. Today I'm teaching Solidworks and the subject I'm teaching is advanced sketching and sketch planes. What I'm going to show you how to draw is this square to round transition. So it's essentially like a piece of pipe. It has a square flange on one end and a round flange on the other end. In this video I'm going to cover going from a square profile to a circular profile or an obscure shaped profile. And then in the second part of this video I will show you how to do a radius pattern for the bolt holes and a linear pattern for these square bolt holes on the square flange. Okay, so let's get started. I'm opening Solidworks. I'm starting a new document. Okay. I am going to choose the front face to work with, normal 2. Go to sketch, start a new sketch. And for this one I am just going to chuck a circle on it, and I'm going to make it 200mm in diameter. F to fit, okay. Dimension not fully defined, that's happy. Okay, exit sketch. Okay. Just turning the front plane on so it's visible. And I'm just going to go slightly isometric just to show you what I'm doing. Okay, so currently I have a circle sketch on the front plane. What I'm going to do is hold down the control key and select the front plane, and it's created a second plane. Now I want my two faces, or my two flanges, to be 500mm apart. So I'm just going to choose that in the Dimension tab, and it's just setting the distance in which the second plane is offset from the first plane. Okay, there are other options too. We can have them parallel to each other, perpendicular, which is right angles, the two planes touching, or they can be at an angle to each other, but I'm just doing a straight plane which is just parallel to each other. Okay, so this is, I'm just going to call this plane front 2. Okay, so a front plane 2. Now I'm going to select the second plane, and I'm going to say sketch on the second plane, now normal 2. And for simplicity I'm going to use a rectangle and a center point rectangle. Okay, choosing the origin, coming out and dropping it. Switching. And I'm going to make this 400 by 400. Actually, no, let's make this 400 by 300, just for shits and giggles. Okay. So just turning this around so we can see what we're looking at. We have one plane with a circle on it, one plane with a square on it. Expect this just to make it look a little bit better. Okay, and what I want is material from this plane out to this plane. So now I'm going to go and save my work so far. It's not all supply, this will be round to square flange. Okay, now feature tree. Now I'm going to go loft boss base, profiles, profile 1, my first sketch, profile 2, my second sketch. Okay, then we go OK, and it's just made it solid. Okay, I'm just going to go up to my front plane and turn that off. Okay, sorry, front plane, hide, front plane 2, hide. Okay, so we go square to round in a nice transition. Obviously we wanted ours to be a pipe. You're not going to get a lot of material flowing through this. So what I'm going to do is hollow it and make it a shell. So I can exit the sketch. Okay, so I want to leave 10mm of material in this and use that as the central middle bit of my pipe. So I'm going to choose, where are we? Shelling tool, show preview. and it's automatically decided it's going to shell everything out internally. But I want this front face shelled and I want this back face shelled, otherwise it'll be hollow, but you can't get liquid into it or out of it. Okay, so I'll just show you this and then I'll come back and fix it. Okay, so still capped, but if we cut in half, there we go, we can see that it's left these two internal faces. So I'm just going to turn that off, go back to my shell, edit feature. Now I'm going to click on the front face, and I'm going to click on the back face, and I'm going to go OK. And what it's done, I'll turn this back on, it's hollowed it out, and it's left the front open and the back open, so I can then put my flanges on it. Okay. So for the next step, turn that back off, save my changes, and I can go back to my front plane, go sketch on the front plane, and I'll go normal 2. Okay. Just turn it around so I can see what I'm looking at. Clicking on the origin, and I'm going to drag out to this internal diameter is 200, so I'm going to add 50 mil to it, so this will be 150. So it's actually 300 mil in diameter, which gives me 50 mil here, 200 across, and then 50 mil on this side. I'm also going to put a center and drag it out to the 200. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is use the extrude boss base for that sketch that I just did to put a flange on this end here. And I'm going to project it out 10 mil. Just going to go OK. There we go, that's one end done. Okay, now I go to front 2, sketch on front plane, normal 2. So this is 400 by 300. I'm going to add again 50 mil onto it. So square from the origin out. I've just picked up the inside square. Now I'm going to add, actually, I'm going to use the trim offset entities tool. Okay. And we're going to say 50 mil. And reverse. Okay, I'm just unselecting the center lines because it's just confusing the program. So all I've got is the outside square. It's doing an offset profile around the outside of that, and it's going to be 50 mil. And we're happy with that, so we just green tick. Okay, exit sketch, extrude boss base, 10 mil. Okay, now let's cut our profile in half. Actually, let's save it. Then we'll use the profile tool. There we go. So that's how to use planes to help you draw the two faces. I'm going to stop this video there, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how to pattern the two faces.